social media in other ways than just marketing and business development. And we will start with Mazuma.
Yeah, I'll let Sean answer the bulk of this, but obviously from the slide, and I know that it's kind of hard to see because we're sitting in front of it. A lot going on up here, but we use it for our own team members. You know, a lot of people, a lot of institutions out there don't allow Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, whatever on organization devices. We open that up to everybody. They're going to do it whether you think they are or not. So we allow people to tweet and post stuff on Facebook. So we have a Team Mazuma Facebook page. We use it for recruiting. We use it obviously for Mazuma Mic. We use it for the Mazumify stuff. We use it for a whole bunch of other things other than just marketing. The more times that you can get your brand out there, the more times you can get your name out there, I think the better. So.
Yeah, just to add a few things to what Brandon was saying, we're actually extremely fortunate to be able to work with Mazuma and with the culture that they have. Their desire to allow you to bank happy really gives a lot of opportunity on the creative spectrum. So one thing that we've done with them is utilize their social media for new and unique ways to recruit, to be a part of that team. So this past year we launched the Pure Imagination campaign, and what that was centered around is Mazuma just built a new HQ building in Overland Park that is just a wonderful, wonderful building with so many cool features in it that when you go in, it almost feels like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, and there's so many cool things to do inside, whether it be a Lego room or a game room with ping pong or just a fun environment where everybody's constantly smiling and laughing. So we played in there, and it allowed us to create a digital video of Mazuma Mic recreating Pure Imagination and ultimately rounding those lyrics to a recruitment side and saying, if you want to be a part of this team, we'll just come on in and see what you can find. We also use Twitter to put on the job wire if they're hiring for these really cool positions. Another big piece that Mazuma does extremely well is corporate social responsibility and being out in the community. With them being purely Kansas City and all about Kansas City and everything that entails, it gives us a good opportunity to push not only from the perspective of here's what Mazuma is doing in the community, but it's also a good platform for us to put out and say, hey, here is who we're involved with. If you want to learn more about Big Brothers Big Sisters or our partners with Harvesters, check them out. Thanks for letting us have the opportunity there. So looking at it from a community service standpoint. And then lastly, member relations and what we talked about earlier, having a high frequency of responses to those negative comments that are inevitable in this day and age. But it's also the ability to share organic audits that are positive or to network with other companies and organizations, whether that be Big Brothers Big Sisters or something, saying thanks for coming out Mazuma, or can't wait to have Mazuma at our event here, and we can use that as just another communication vessel for pushing out other people's content to build our own social network that way. So it gives us a lot of opportunities, and ultimately what we're trying to do with any material that we put out is to utilize all possible communication channels that we can to give it the biggest frequency possible.
Excellent. How about at Sky One? How do you guys use social media?
I'll just add to these that we also, as a nod to our roots in air transportation, we do share a lot of fun facts and pictures and articles about the air transportation and aviation industry, financial tips, of course. And we love to support the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. So we do all of these things, and we don't really do a lot of recruiting on there. We haven't really needed to a whole lot. On LinkedIn a little bit, we have tweeted, but on Facebook we haven't done any of recruiting yet.
Our senior management team just finished a program at Cornell University online, and I think they were talking about at the last group, personal branding, your personal shadow. What do your coworkers and colleagues expect out of you on a daily basis? Who are you? What are you about? And you write your brand statement, and the Cornell team really recommends that every one of us on the senior management team puts that out on LinkedIn. And then I say, why? You know, I don't want them all sucked up by other people and hired out, or we're not trying to market ourselves and look for jobs. But they said, stop thinking like that. You know, you are representing your organization. And sure enough, our chief marketing officer did that right away. And she's already getting applications, she says, from people who want to work for us just based on reading her profile. So you could put some fun sense of humor, not just your banking experience or your educational experience, but make your members and potential employees want to be a part of your organization.
It probably helps build the culture that you're looking for.
Culture is definitely overarching theme, I think, today. If any of you guys are like me, a marketing specialist, and you're trying to persuade your executive level team to budget more for social media, maybe take a look, at the culture overall, and maybe start there, because we really do push that. We try to make our social media following really see that our culture is very open, and it really translates that way.
How about at Royal? How do you guys use social media?
We use it in all of these manners. I think where we really shine is as using it as a customer service channel. Andrea and the social media team, the responsiveness and the quality of the service that she's able to give, I think that that's really the foundation that our engagement is built upon. I think that's why we get such great responses to our contests and things, not only because it's free and we're from the Midwest, but that people know that we're there.
Yes, I would add to what Tara was saying. At one of our meetings once, not too long ago, I put up some sample sites, and Andrea and Tara wasn't even aware I was going to do this, but I was just so proud of how attentive they are to the member and responding to the member. So I put up some sites, and I saw everything from respond typically within 2 days, a day, etc. At the time, ours was responding within minutes to 1 hour, and so usually within a minute. And that, I think, is so key to keeping engagement, is respond to those members within minutes, and we'll look at that and monitor that, because that's how they're choosing to communicate with us. And so social media, to me, is a channel just like the call center or the branch. When they're talking to us, we need to be listening and responding. The other thing that we do, and what I do as CEO, is, and since I arrived at Royal 4.5 years ago, is I use our comments and opportunities to kind of recognize our team members internally. So when there's a positive comment, I'll copy that, send it out to a team member internally, because we're really high believers in driving high engagement. Love the presentation by Gallup. I've been a big Gallup fan for a long time. I truly believe that you want to have a highly engaged workforce, and when you do that, so many special things can happen. And so I take that opportunity to recognize, and I also send it to our board of directors, which is my direct boss, and let them know the kind of comments that are being made on social media. So I'm also at the same time informing and educating, and my team, my direct team. And so I'm not driving the social media, but I am using the comments to help promote social media and its importance within the organization and to our board of directors.